In any big company, there's this constant tug of war, right? You've got these huge, ambitious goals, but then there's the sheer complexity of just running the business every day. It's like a thick fog rolls in, and those grand strategies just disappear. So today, we're going to look at the profile of someone whose job it is to be a guide through that fog, someone we can call an architect of transformation. And that really brings us to the million-dollar question, doesn't it? I mean, this is the stuff that keeps leaders staring at the ceiling at 3 a.m. How on earth do you take all those moving parts, the people, the different processes, all the tech, and get them all pointing in the same direction? And not just for a week or a month, but to build something that actually sticks around.
So here's a potential answer. And I think the language here is really telling. It's not just a mission statement, it's a game plan. Look at those two key words, decode and architect. That's powerful. It's like saying, first I'll untangle this giant, messy knot to see how it's actually tied. Then I'll use those same threads to weave something strong and new. It's about finding the hidden pattern and then building on it with purpose.
All right, so here's our game plan for this explainer. We're going to start with decoding complexity, then move to being a master of structure. After that, we'll see how to bridge industries with expertise, become a future-ready technologist, and finally, the really important part, connecting people and strategy. And we'll wrap up by looking at what it means to be a transformation partner.
First up, the master of structure. You can't be an architect of change without a blueprint, right? So this is where it all begins. It's about creating that solid foundation, that framework that can actually turn chaos into order.
Okay, so at the core of this approach is a unique framework, Projectsin Programs. Now, don't just skim over that definition. The really critical phrase here is bridge enterprise strategy with human impact. Think about that. It means this isn't just about flowcharts and deadlines. It's about making sure the big picture company goals actually connect with the real people doing the work. It's about creating a journey for people, not just pushing a process at them. And you can see that this framework isn't just an idea. It's built on a rock-solid foundation. Look at this list. PMP, Prince2, Scrum Master, SAFe, Six Sigma, ITEL, a who's who of project management. The point here isn't to be an expert in just one thing. It's about having this massive toolkit. So whether you need a super detailed, long-term plan or a fast, agile approach, you've got the right tool for the job. All right, so you've got the blueprint, you've got the tools, but a blueprint for a skyscraper is pretty useless if you're trying to build it in a swamp, right? This is where deep, specific industry knowledge becomes absolutely essential. Structure is one thing, but knowing the terrain you're building on, that's what makes it powerful.
And wow, when we talk about deep knowledge, this is what it looks like. We're seeing a heavy focus on the financial world. Insurance, banking, financial markets. We're talking a total of 15 certifications just in this one sector. That's not just scratching the surface. That means you speak the language, you understand the incredibly complex regulations, you get the unique challenges that nobody on the outside would. Okay, next up, the future-ready technologist. Because let's be real, in today's world, you can't talk about transforming an industry like finance without talking about technology. They're completely intertwined. Any big change, any real transformation is going to live and breathe on digital platforms, so you have to be fluent in that tech. And fluent is definitely the right word here. We're not talking about just one system. We're seeing deep expertise across the big three of the enterprise world: Salesforce, Microsoft, and Oracle. When you know these platforms inside and out, it means you can navigate the entire digital backbone of a company, from how they talk to their customers with CRM to how they run their operations on the cloud. So let's take a step back. We've got structure, we've got deep industry knowledge, we've got tech mastery. That's a powerful combination. But what's the glue that holds it all together? This, for me, is the real game changer. It's about taking all those hard skills and filtering them through the one thing that actually makes or breaks any project: the people. And this slide just lays it out so clearly. On the one hand, you have the engine of the business, the enterprise strategy, driven by all those frameworks and tech platforms. But on the other hand, you have the fuel for that engine, the human impact, which is informed by understanding psychology, HR, and how people actually work together. This is what connects a goal on a PowerPoint slide to the person who has to make it happen on a Tuesday morning. 50. Just let that number sink in for a second. 50 total professional certifications and academic credentials. This isn't just about collecting badges. A number like this tells a story. It's a story of relentless career-long learning.
It shows a deep commitment to mastering every single piece of the puzzle, the technical stuff, the structural stuff, and crucially, the human stuff too. So, where does this all lead? What do you do with all this expertise? Well, it's not meant to just sit on a shelf. The whole point is to put it into practice, to move from theory to reality. It's about becoming a partner in transformation and getting real things done.
And here is the core promise, summed up in a great phrase, from index to outcomes. Think about that for a second. So many projects get stuck in the index phase. Reports, status updates, checking boxes. This is about pushing past all that. It's about focusing on the outcomes, the real, tangible changes that actually improve the business and, most importantly, that last. And applying this kind of expertise doesn't have to be a one-size-fits-all approach. You can see it's flexible. Maybe you need some short-term advisory on a specific tricky problem. Or maybe you need someone to come in for a longer-term fractional role. There's even room for academic collaborations. It's all about finding the right way to bring this knowledge in to make the biggest difference. So that brings us to the final question, and this one's for you. Looking at a profile like this, it kind of forces you to look in the mirror, doesn't it? To ask yourself, what does our blueprint for change look like? Are we just wrestling with complexity day in and day out? Or are we really, truly ready to decode it, to architect something new, and to build something that will actually last?